Have you ever prayed for something and doubted that you would get it? Have you ever prayed for something but wondered if you had to just do more than just ask for it? Have you ever prayed for something but the exact opposite ended up happening? These are all really, really big questions that a lot of Christians just wonder about, and it causes a lot of anxiety or just uncertainty in their faith. And for me, what really made this crystal clear was Matthew 7, verse 7 through 9. Let me just open that up real fast. Should have had it already open, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I knew I was making a video on this, but I didn't open it. Matthew 7. Alright, so Matthew 7, verse 7 through 9 says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. He who seeks finds. And him who knocks the door will open. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, would give him stone? If he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give such good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets." So some people who I've talked to this verse about have a bit of confusion on it. I was very fortunate that it seems like the way I initially read it, just based on like my own common sense understanding, was correct after talking to several people in Bible studies and also to my pastor. My pastor actually ended up doing a whole sermon on this recently, on this verse. So that was like enlightening. I'm like, whoa, he's saying everything all the conclusions we came to in Bible study. That's awesome. Anyways, let's go line by line to really break this down. So it says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock on the door and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks the door will open." So some people will interpret this, especially based on this particular translation, as seek and you will find. I know, though, as asking it will be given, seek and you will find. Those as two separate things, as if like, you'll ask for it and it'll just be given, or if you seek it you'll find. But these really should be viewed kind of together, right? Because think about it in a common sense way. If you ask God for for a girlfriend, like, "God, please give me a girlfriend," but then you just sit in your room all day, you're not gonna get a girlfriend. You have to, if you want a girlfriend and you ask God for a girlfriend, you'll get one, but you have to go outside of your room and go do the things that will help you meet this woman and attract this woman, right? So this same concept applies to anything else that you ask God. When you ask God something, it is like, okay, you've asked him, so yeah, you'll get it. But you also have to take the actions that would result in that thing happening, right? Because God's grace and his generosity doesn't negate cause and effect. He's not gonna rewrite how cause and effects works just for this one prayer, right? So you need to, if you say you want like this new amazing job promotion, well, you're not going to just have it fall into your lap, even if, no matter how hard you pray for it, because God's not going to cause and effect to go away. He's not going to overwrite other people's free will. He could do that, but he's not going to do that, because that's not how God chose to operate, right? So the real takeaway from this part of the verse, or this verse, I guess, verses 7 and 8, is really that it needs to be seen holistically, that if you ask God for something and you seek it, you'll find it. You'll get what it is that you want. You'll knock on the door of opportunity, and you'll open up, and you'll have that amazing job offer or relationship, or that change in your character. That's the big one. You can also ask, if you're not aware, you can also ask God to help change your character, help make you more Christ-like. And he'll work through the Holy Spirit to actually make you more Christ-like and just a better person who exhibits the fruits of the Spirit. So let's move on to verse 9. So verse 9 says, "Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone?" Oh wait, I had read 9 through 12. Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. So this isn't about Matthew 7 through 9. It's 7 through 12 is what the topic of this video is. Okay. Man, I need to take better notes. All right. "Which of you, if his son will ask for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" So what do you think this means? I'm waiting for you to answer, buddy. No. So really what this is telling us is that if you who's like evil, right? You're like a human who isn't like a perfect saint or anything. You're just like a person who maybe has a tendency to evil. Especially if you're like reading this and you're like you're hearing it for the first time as an unbeliever, right? Like back in the time of Jesus. Objectively, you're not perfect the way God is perfect. So despite that, you still know, like, if your son, like you're literally your human son, asks you, "Can I have a bread, Dad?" You're not gonna give him a rock, like, "Here, eat this." Or if he asks you for like a pet fish, you're not gonna give him a snake that's gonna like bite him. So even though you're evil, or I think some other translations use like a different term for it, like worldly or something like that. I'd have to check. But even though you're evil, you're human, you're not perfect, you still know how to give good gifts to your children. So logically, how much more would your Father in heaven, God the Father, give good gifts to those who ask him, right? Like when you ask God for something, he's not going to just give you like, "Okay, here's whatever it is." He's going to give you the absolute best of that thing. So going back off of our two previous examples, if you ask for a new job promotion, it's not going to be to just any role. It's likely going to be to the best role for you in this season of your life. Or in terms of a girlfriend, if you ask for like a girlfriend, it's not going to be just some girl just any girl, right? He'll just be like, "Okay, well, here's a girl, and she's like she's like 250 pounds." It'll be a girl who's not just attractive, but more importantly, she walks with Christ, and she she is like just amazingly compatible with you and everything. Another example would be like when you ask God to improve your relationships with your family or your friends. He's not gonna just be like, okay, well, now you don't hate each other. Good job. He's gonna continue to work on you and work on your family's hearts until you guys are just 100% closer. You're just filled with love for each other, right? And it may take some time. So a common pitfall people have with like understanding the lesson that this verse is trying to say is that they'll they'll put like a time box on God. They'll be like, all right, well, I asked for this job I asked for a promotion, but I didn't get it. It's been a month. Or they'll be like, man, I I wanted to ask God for a girlfriend. And it's been a whole week, and I still haven't met any woman that I like. Or in the case of the family, the relationship with your family, like, man, I've been trying to repair my relationship with my family for a week now, or like weeks now, or even months now, and it still hasn't happened. We still aren't like perfectly loving. But that doesn't change the fact that God's timing is perfect. That if the verses say is ask and it will be given, seek and you will find. So if you've asked for it and you've taken the actions that will make you deserve that thing, right? Like not so much in like a legalistic way, but more in cause and effect, right? Like you deserve this job offer because you've actually been showing up to work. You deserve this girlfriend because you've actually been speaking to women and taking care of your hygiene and maybe going to the gym. You have to do the cause and effect things. You have to seek and you will find, right? and there's, like I said, God's timing is perfect. So if you are feeling like, oh, I prayed for this and it's still not happening, it's been days or weeks or months now, just keep going, get back on the horse. God's timing is perfect, so just keep just keep going. It'll happen eventually. And in the case of the other question, have you ever prayed for something but the exact opposite happened? This happens sometimes, right? Like you'll be like, Lord, could I please have a promotion at my job? And then you get fired. Sometimes that's due to your own actions, right? Like if you ask, hey God, please give me this promotion, and then you curse out your manager. That wasn't God, buddy. You're the reason you got fired. But other times, right? Maybe you didn't get fired. You got laid off. Maybe there's just an economic downturn in the company, and you ended up getting laid off. Sometimes things like that happen again through people's free will, right? Like it could just be that it literally could just be that your company is led by stupid people, and they had to lay people off to meet their financial numbers, right? But it also could be that God did bring that change into your life because he knows something better is around the corner. And the only way that you'll be in the position to take advantage of that and to actually get that is to have been laid off of your previous job, right? Like maybe you'll get just a way better job next time, right? Like you get laid off, like, oh man, now I have to start applying for jobs, and you apply for so many different places, and it just happens you find a place that has a culture that really fits with you and has maybe even better pay and all these other things that you've been looking for in a workplace that you thought you would get from a promotion within your company, but you actually got from being let go and then finding a new job. So, with that in mind, uh, just keep in mind, yeah, the key takeaway is that asking it will be given to you, and seeking you will find. You know, you want to ask, first and foremost, prayer is the most important thing. Ask God for the thing. But you also want to take the cause and effect steps. You want to seek, so that way you can actually find. Yeah, I think that's all the lessons that I've had from just reading and thinking about this verse. This verse has really been on my heart lately. So I hope this helped. I hope this helped.